Peace Palace in the Dutch city of The Hague, home of the International Court of Justice. It's the only major organ of the United Nations which is not based in New York. But what happens in the court in the coming days is being keenly watched here on the other side of the Atlantic at UN headquarters. Already, the ambassador of Israel, whose diplomats have been actively lobbying other UN members, has angrily denounced the case in a speech in the UN General Assembly, perhaps an indication of how worried his country is.
South Africa's baseless and libelous cases at the ICJ proves this exactly. How can it be, remember it, that the Convention on the Prevention of Genocide, adopted following the Holocaust, the genocide of the Jewish people, is now being weaponized against the Jewish state?
The law is normally supposed to be above politics, but when it comes to international law, things get more complicated. Candidates to be judges at the International Court of Justice are nominated by their own countries, which then campaign for them in what's an inherently political process. The elections held every year are often a drawn-out procedure as they happen simultaneously in the General Assembly and the Security Council. The Palestinian ambassador to the UN has told me he believes the case before the court now is being given extra weight because it's being brought by South Africa, a country that suffered so much in the past under apartheid rule.
Nobody would question that a country like South Africa, which defeated apartheid, that it is not on the top of the mountain of morality and respect for human rights and the rights of people in general. So we are grateful to them.
Here at the UN, there's some hope the case could potentially break the deadlock on the UN Security Council. Over the past 3 months, there have been repeated efforts to pass a resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, but on 3 occasions, one country, the US, has used its veto to block such action. If the International Court of Justice were to decide to order provisional measures to stop Israel's bombardment, it would be up to the Security Council to enforce such a ruling. The US has received a great deal of global criticism for its 3 vetoes on Gaza, and President Biden has repeatedly said his country is a guardian of the rules-based international order. So would he really be prepared to let his country veto again, this time in defiance of the world's highest court? James Bays, Al Jazeera, at the United Nations.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.